What's good everyone? In this video, I want to show you guys how I nailed this short trade on Solana. And because I entered this short with 5x leverage, I actually was up about 100% on my account. So if you guys want to know how I did this, stay tuned. Okay, so let's get right into it. This is Solana's chart. I first shorted it at around 28 June at this 12 midnight mark. And what are the signs that made me took this short? So first thing, Solana hit its local resistance at about $42.50 regions. And how did I get this yellow line and resistance line over here? Let me zoom out to the daily chart. As you can see here, the candle closures where the previous high was at $42.50 regions, and therefore, as you can see here, Solana rised up all the way to the $42 regions and then slightly went back down. So basically, it hit local resistance and it did not want to go higher, and so this is the first reason why I was starting to look at Solana as bearish. Okay, moving back to the 4 hours chart. Now that I determined that Solana is bearish, what do I do next, right? So I always look to the Bitcoin's chart for confluence. Therefore, as I said before, every alt mostly follows Bitcoin's movement. So just take note of this timing, 28 June, 12 midnight. Moving to Bitcoin's chart. Again, this is the Bitcoin 4 hour chart. Right over here, 28 June, 12 midnight. This is where I saw Bitcoin going back below 21k. It resisted against the 21k levels, which I've drawn over with this yellow line. Resistance did not want to go higher and then broke back down. So once I see this candle starting to form, this red candle, of course, I'm not using the 4 hours for entry. I always use the 5 minute to 15 minute candle for entries. So as you can see, once I saw it starting to get bearish, and once I saw Bitcoin going back below 21k, getting resisted by the 21k levels, that is where I entered my Solana shorts position. That was my first 2 reasons for my Solana short. So back to the Solana chart. As you can see here, I also drawn this bearish trend line connecting from the first to second candle. When Solana hit the third time on the trend line, it confluenced so well with my first 2 reasons why I wanted to short. Bitcoin was starting to form bearish signs. Solana also experienced this resistance level, and therefore this was my third reason, retesting the bearish trend line, and I entered a short at around $38.50 regions, and I nailed this short so perfectly. Bitcoin melted, and so did Solana. Just a disclaimer, I did not close right at $31 because I was thinking that it will drop further down, but I guess it's now experiencing a relief rally, and therefore once I saw it broke this bearish trend line, I took my profits at around $33.50 regions. But it's still okay, I'm still in profit. I got about 55% profit with a 5x leverage, so it's still pretty good, right? So what are my plans right now? Again, all my trading on alts is all based on Bitcoin. Right now, again, I do not want to long because in the overall markets is still very bearish, so I'm just looking for shorts trades. So no matter what happens right now with the relief rally, I won't go for longs. So the first short, let's say if Bitcoin hits 21k again, I will be looking for shorts at 21k. And if Bitcoin right now drops back below 20k, that will be also my short trigger. And then once this happens, I would go over to Solana to check for entries. So let's say if Bitcoin goes below 20k, I will look for shorts below $35 regions. If Bitcoin goes back up and hits about the 21k regions, I will look for shorts again at this local resistance where I shorted previously at about $39. Okay, so some of y'all do not know how I long or short, so I'll let you guys know how I do it. I mainly use FTX to do my altcoin trading. Okay, so this is FTX platform. You can trade futures, spots, whatsoever, and I love this platform because the UI is good, the founder is trustworthy, and therefore I'm okay with having my money on FTX. But if you guys have Binance that's also another good platform. Alright. So how do I do it? I go under futures, or you can search under all these. So how I trade using Solana example, I click on Solana, you will see the price over here, okay? And then simply put how much leverage you want to put. So I'll usually use 3 to 5x. Then over here you can put buy or sell Solana. So how do you enter a trade? You either enter via market or limit orders. So basically, market orders basically is once you press the sell, you will be entered at this position right at that moment. If you put a limit order, basically you put at a certain price. Let's say you want to sell at 37, so you put 37. So if price hits $37, your order will be filled and it will start. And these two things are very important. I always have a stop loss and take profit. So some people do not have that, which is very dangerous. And why? Why do I say this is very important? It is because stop losses will prevent you from taking more losses and also prevent your account from getting liquidated. So okay, let's say I want to enter a Solana short right here. My stop loss will always be at a point where I feel that my trade will be invalidated if the trade goes against me. So in this case, just give you an example. Usually it will look something like this. I will short at this around this area. My stop loss will be above here, about 37.23. So how do I do it? Stop loss 37.23. I'll enter in the market. See, FTX also help you calculate how much percentage loss you will get. Okay, and then you choose how much of your account you want to enter the trade. So usually I will put about 50% of my account to trade, okay? And I will have 3x to 5x leverage. So again, leverage is very important. Do not have high leverage because you will stand a chance to get liquidated very quickly. So using my example of 5x leverage, right now as you can see here, my stop loss is about 4% loss, right? But if you have leverage, you would lose times 5 of this. So basically, if hits your stop loss, 4 times 5, 20%. You would lose 20% of your account. But because I entered with 50% of my account, so basically just 20% of my 50% account. If you get what I mean, okay? So that's very simply, that's it. This is how you enter a buy or sell. So same thing for longs. Similarly, your stop loss obviously inverted. You'll be below your entry price. You'll take profit, whatever take profit you want, and you'll calculate for you. So yeah, that's very simply how you use FTX to long and short, and how do you use leverage. Simple as that. But just my advice to you guys, if you guys do not have any experience in trading, I wouldn't suggest putting any leverage. You can try it out with no leverage first and entering with small amounts, okay? I'll update my Discord very regularly, so if you want to know what are my trades, what are my setups, then just join the Discord and see you there. So the markets are always here, but your capital may not. So, peace.